Hey, hey, hey. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into another edition of the Right Side of Campus. It is Thursday, November 14th, 2019. I'm your host, the big man on campus. You know what we're here for. Another day, another dollar, the Right Side of Campus, the show where we get you ready for the day in sports betting. Got some headlines to get to, some interesting ones. We got some games to take a look at tonight. We got Thursday night football, Steelers and Browns. We'll break that down for you. AFC North. We also got a couple college games as well, and we'll hit the hardwood, Donnie, with a couple college basketball games. How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Thursday, football's back in our life. Well, actually, it was back in our life the last two nights if you watch any of the action. And last night, NIU pulls it out, man. I'm hot in action, even though I don't even bet it or cap it, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll get to that NIU Toledo game in just a second. We also, Donnie, will talk some other headlines as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll headline up what's going on with Colin Kaepernick. Seems like there's new news every day. And I'm starting to kind of feel like, Donnie, this is a complete charade. And I think you and I will both agree on that. I don't want it to be, but I think, sadly, it's going to be. Hope everyone's having a great day. Thank you for joining us. We hope you're getting ready for another weekend, Donnie. We have Friday just 24 hours away, basically, under 24 hours. I do want to make a programming note, guys. I'm going to say this now. I'm going to try to say this as much as I can. There are not going to be any shows tomorrow. Right Side of Campus, the college basketball show. I might record the two late shows and put them out, but I don't know if they're going to be live. Well, I know they're not going to be live. They're either not going to happen or they might be recorded. I might, Donnie, record them tonight and just put them out tomorrow. But the Right Side of Campus is not going to be on. Donnie, you and I will be together, though. We're going to meet up. Donnie and I are going to have some. We're going to have some lunch down in South Philly tomorrow. So maybe we'll do a live quick hit or something, something like that. But how's your night last night, Right Side?
Good, man. I enjoyed it. I mean, I went to bed rather early, so I actually didn't even see the action final score of Northern Illinois until I woke up this morning and checked on it. But I got a good night of sleep last night, man. No complaints, man. No.
Yeah, it wasn't great, man. It was ugly stuff. Wow, that's brutal. That's so brutal, Donnie. I've got to stop betting like 2-1 horses. Like they never win. Like, it's so brutal. Like I keep hitting on underdogs, yet I keep finding my way to like bet these. Like I'm betting these like 8-5 horses, and it's like I don't do it ever, but for whatever reason I did it here. Odd. I shouldn't listen to this fucking crackpot on this fucking TVG guy. Shit.
You love TVG.
I do, but they're usually really good. But like this guy's like, oh yeah, this 3-horse at Churchill, he's gonna lead. He's gonna be the front runner the whole way. They're gonna be
wire to wire.
Yeah, and it's like and then he goes, oh, he's 6-5. I'm like, I guess I would just bet this. And the horse is obviously like, oh, and Donnie, by the way, it was the last race they were on that grouping, so he doesn't have to talk about it now because he has to leave.
And tomorrow you won't hear about it anymore.
No, it's over. That's what's great about some of these guys. Like you don't hear from them because like they give the last big horse they give is always like a 6-5 horse. Yep. And it's like if it loses, it's like, well, we're going anyway. So it's the next people. But yeah, brutal. I shouldn't have bet a 6-5. I'd never do that. All right, let's move on here and let's get started with the show. First things first, Donnie. Mark Cuban is in the news. And, I generally, Donnie, at my point where I am in life, I generally agree with things that Mark Cuban says. I think he'd be I think down the road, I think he could be a really interesting political figure. I mean,
forward thinking, progressive. He's done it. He's made his money. Yeah,
billionaire. A guy that I think down the road, it wouldn't surprise me if you see a run for some kind of office, whether it's the presidency or who knows. But he basically, Donnie, was asked recently about load management and how what his thoughts are on it. And I think as a fan, you'd never, I think if you go to games, it's like, fuck, I want to see this player or that player. But you and I have talked about it. The season's too long. It's rigorous at points. And Mark basically kind of said it correctly. I think teams have to be smarter about when to load manage. I'm all for load management. Worse than missing a player in a regular season game is missing him in the playoffs. And then he goes on to talk about it's kind of data driven. We're not going, okay, let's just mess with the league and our meal ticket to fans to do something just because it might be interesting. We spend a lot of money, not just on analytics for predictive reasoning, but also for biometrics and that kind of thing. Science is science, Donnie. And you look at a guy who's a perfect candidate, Damian Lillard, Donnie, seemingly never has nights off, ever. I mean, they're driving the guy into the ground. I think we've got to remember these are why these guys are, they're best at their most elite levels. And I'm not saying that if they play a back-to-back, they should be tired or anything. But again, you've got to give these guys time off. Now, should they have time off 8 games, 9 games into the season? No, but I think after like the New Year mark, I don't see a big problem with it.
No, he's what he's saying is actually right, because load management is very smart. You prolong the career, you prolong the effectiveness and the minutes that they're on the court. But he also is talking in tongues, basically, Jeff, because he's actually saying my league is just ripping fans off left and right. And I don't care, because I make a ton of money and I'll always make money, but we're ripping you off. But I like this because I'm going to have my guy for the playoff.
But again, that's what we seem to understand. Like, fans have like this weird thought that like they're like the center of attention with everything.
No, but they have a point though. Like if you're gonna, because it's expensive to go to games.
Then don't go to a back-to-back, Donnie. You should know that then.
But which back-to-back are they playing? Like you could argue like the one with the Clippers where he sat out the first game. Like, wait.
For instance, I think, Donnie, a lot of life is about common sense. Okay, let me tell you why I think this. So if you look at Kawhi Leonard, for instance, who's been notorious for back-to-backs, his back-to-backs this year have come on the first of the back-to-backs.
Which nobody does that. So how would you even know that coming into the season?
Sure, but now you're going to know. You've got to have common sense here. You've got to look at a schedule and plan it out. Listen, teams don't care about fans in the one game they go to. They don't. I know they probably should, and they should have more thought on it. But,
well, the NBA does. Like the NBA cares. Like if you're in a national game, you can't sit out for load management, and that's what they did, and they got fined for it. But I'm like, I always like to take it to the extreme, and I always.
But who cares if they get fined? What does that matter? They get billions of dollars. Who cares?
No, but the NBA is pissed because the network picks up the phone and says, "I pay you motherfuckers all this money," and he's sitting out of this national game that we have on there. That's why they fine the teams. Otherwise, the NBA wouldn't care at all.
It's kind of like if Donnie, we were doing a show, and like RJ Bell was here instead. People would be like, what the fuck? Well, I don't want to see this loser. It's like, I didn't pay to see RJ Bell. I want to see you guys.
I always said this, Jeff, in the NBA, like we always talk about a shorter season. And I would lead to argue that the NBA would take over the ratings war and kick the NFL out of that spot. Can you imagine, Jeff, if the NBA had 17 games and they only played once a week and played on Sunday?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Can you imagine the fever in town of talking about, like, let's just say the Lakers? You have 6 days to get ready for the Clippers. It would shatter records on the TV. Same thing with the Sixers. One time a week on a Sunday. Good Lord, it would break the internet with how many people that would watch.
I'm good on
Man.
that. I like it how it is. Donnie, this guy's back. He was on the shows last night.
Who?
This Tyler guy. He was in our NBA show last night, our college show. Now he's a guy, Donnie, that he thinks I'm mean to people, so no one should listen to me. And he always tells me how like he's not gonna ever listen, yet every show he listens. So Donnie, maybe you should not do shows anymore with me because I'm negative about everyone.
Jeff, why are you so? Look, he comes in and he says, "Look, hi Donnie, I love my." So I'm already backing this guy. So
yeah, well then you should listen to Donnie only. I don't know why you keep supporting me though. Surprisingly, every time I do a show, you're here.
Hey, I got nothing. Jeff, I got nothing against the guy. Seems like a nice guy.
No, it's why I don't block him. That's why I just I want the view. Like I'm good. like you continue to come in here with like, oh, I hate big man on campus. Yet you keep coming in here. So hey, thanks, Tyler. I appreciate your joining us here. So Donnie, Mark Cuban. So at the end of the day, I think there's a good comment here actually. Styles P, the rapper, who is arguably, I think, the most underrated rapper of all time, said that the commissioner, if he was the commissioner, he would allow load management until after the All-Star break.
He's right on that too. He's right on that too. But again, I think Jeff, it can all get down to is the NFL can solve its own problem. You can schedule better. Like if you scheduled better, we wouldn't have this as an issue. Like if you played on a Monday and then you don't play again to a Thursday, and then you play on Sunday, but then you don't play again until Tuesday. You can solve this issue. It's so easy.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to ever do that though. I'm good with.
Stupid.
Listen, I'm good with the way the league is. I don't give a shit about fans. I don't care what they like or don't like.
No, you're right, because like even when you take a look at the NFL, what's the thing we always bitch about on Thursday night, and the players do as well? It's like, dude, we are so battered on Sunday, and
I
even
just
make
don't
me
want
play on Thursday night. But what they easily could do is they add the second bye weekend, so nobody has to play on a short week, and they don't do it. Like nothing makes sense. Like the easiest solution never makes sense to the sports leagues. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, which again, I'm not really a big fan of change. I kind of like things the way they are, so I'm totally fine with the way NBA is. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I leave it the way it is. I couldn't care less about Joey, who couldn't go watch the game in January one time because his favorite player was there. Joey should understand that on the first of back-to-backs, maybe I won't go to those games. Maybe I'll just look for a stand. That's what fans should do, Don. It's very simple. Look for a standalone game and go to that one. And if they happen to sit out, then you just got bad luck.
Maybe they twisted their ankle. Yeah.
Just look at a schedule. Most people, Donnie, they get upset because they don't prepare enough.
Yeah.
It's like we go to the drive-in movie, but it's raining. Well, why didn't you look? Or hey, we go to the Phillies game and it's storming. Well, hey, maybe you should have looked at the weather.
Yeah.
Or hey, there's a parade outside and it's 10 degrees. Maybe we should have looked at the weather. You got to look at stuff. Okay. Like tomorrow, Donnie, you got to foreshadow. We're not going to be here. So we're not just going to not tell anyone the show's not here. And then
but Jeff, it's Friday. It's the best show of the week. Well, we got to eat. So
yeah, and I've got busy times coming up, and I don't know when I'm going to get to Philly, and I've got to go down there to see some people. And I haven't seen you in a while, so I felt like it'd be a good time to see you.
Yeah, lunch, baby.
Yeah. And by the way, we're going to arguably the best pizza in Philadelphia, Celebri's.
I don't think it is, but I do like the pizza, so I'll say that.
Again, is it the greatest?
Your boy actually did a pizza review on my favorite
Angela's,
pizza joint.
It's great. It's very
my
good.
God. We used to have it in Haddonfield, New Jersey, before it moved back to the city, and I miss it dearly. I do.
I want to go. I would go there, Donnie. Honestly,
you can't. You can't sit.
Yeah.
There's no phone. We would sit on like you can't. Which is so crazy that's how he has it.
No, you're literally standing outside eating your pizza
because waiting an hour to get a pizza.
I go to Ralph's, which is like directly down the street.
Yeah,
and there's no seats. You can't call ahead. You got to order.
Makes
a
no
full
sense.
pie.
Yeah, makes no sense.
It's really boss move, dude. Honestly, like that you can do that. You're so you're so good business wise that you can just
and Jeff, they even do stuff like this. We're going on a family vacation. Store's going to be closed for the next 2 weeks. Like, who can do that in a business?
I'll tell you, dude. Like the pizza will get like kind of the love there, but dude, you know what they have great? Like their chicken cutlet and cheesesteaks are really phenomenal. Like if you're up near Gino's and Pat's. Fuck Gino's, go to Angelo's on 9th to Fitzwater. Just go north. Instead of stopping at Passyunk, just keep driving straight and go north and stop at 9th to Fitzwater. Angelo's, the pizzeria, and the cheesesteaks.
Angelo's is I'm telling you right now, it's outrageous pizza. And we were devastated when they moved out of Haddonfield.
Yeah, no, I've seen pretty much every pizza review. I can't remember. I mean, I've maybe seen 5 9s on that show. So now the fact that it got a 9-1.
Because my wife actually told me, I was like, hey, this pizza blogger guy's doing, she doesn't know who Barstool is at all. And I was like, wait a second, Angelo's? I'm like, yeah. So I flipped on. I was like, yeah, but I was like, there's no doubt it was getting high. It's delicious pizza, man. God, good, really, elite level pizza. We're so lucky to live in the areas that we do up here where you get to experience it, because like when we go to like Las Vegas and it's late at night and you eat pizza, you're like, good Lord, man. We're so spoiled. We're so spoiled.
Donnie, tell the listeners. Remember you just ate pizza in Vegas? I wouldn't eat it.
I know. I was so hungry that I ate it, but but it was crazy. You know?
These guys, it was me, Ian. Who else was it? A couple other people.
Who else was with us? Me, Ian. Drew was probably with us.
Drew Martin. Yeah, Drew was there. Might have been someone else. And we went out on Fremont Street, and you were so hungry, you stopped at some gutter.
We literally walked like up and down Fremont Street and just were like moseying. I was like, dude, just pick a spot. Yeah. We picked one. And the greatest part about it was really packed and busy because it was a weekend night. And then what happened like 3 weeks ago, I sent you the picture that it actually closed. Like I guess in the fall. Yeah, it's gone. That place is now gone.
I wonder why. I wouldn't eat it. The pizza was so bad. I'll tell you though, Donnie, in this area, whether you live where I live, you live where you live at the shore, you live in Philly, you live in Lansdale, the food is really top level.
Yeah.
Like out here, we have a lot of people that leave the Philly area and come out here.
Yeah.
And, we also have obviously the Amish cuisine as well, which is kind of.
You could still get the good breads and all that stuff. You can't do that and like replicate it in like South Florida. You know what I mean?
We're close enough where we could still get like rolls every day.
Yes,
and like,
yeah.
We're still getting the good food. One thing, Donnie, I never understood about Philadelphia. So I'm going to make this clear. I don't like, let's say you live in Overbrook or like you live out City Avenue or something, and you go to D'Alessandro's, which is out that way. That's fine, okay? But I can be honest, if you live in South Philly or you live in Mayfair or you live in, the Northeast or Tacony, and you go to D'Alessandro's to get a steak, that's fucking lame. Like, if you travel to get a steak, like, you're lame. Like, that's stupid. Like, these people are like, oh, I live in Sewell, New Jersey, and I go the whole way to D'Alessandro's for cheesesteak. It's like, dude, a cheesesteak is in your neighborhood, and you go to that place. We are loyal people in Philadelphia, okay? We do not if you live in Lancaster or something, I get it. But if you come on, Donnie, you go to your place in your area, right? You go to wherever the pizzeria.
Yeah.
That D'Alessandro's is like, people are like, well, go there, it's the best. It's like, well, no, I'll just go to one that I know about. What else do we have here? A lot of food talk, always good food talk. Next story, Donnie. Kaepernick, back in the news. We're starting to see some of the teams that are going to be involved in Colin Kaepernick's little meeting here, little interview session, whatever. Are we starting to see that this is kind of shammy, Donnie? Like
now see both.
Like, why isn't this going on a team?
I got fault on both sides here now at this point because it came out of left field. Like this Saturday, trying out, flying teams in. Here we go, and I'm just like saying like this sounds kind of like interesting because we talked about it yesterday. It's like it's November 15th. What are we doing at this point now? Like, wouldn't you just like wait till the year's over and schedule something in like just after the Super Bowl so teams can actually send people there? Because what you're going to get now, here's the part I disagree with on both sides here. He's going to work out, which is a good thing for him. And I don't care what happens. He should go work out regardless of who actually shows up, because that'll put him in a better light, in a better situation. Say, I was here. I'm ready to go. And then if they don't show up, Jeff, what can he do? Well, give me another like $20 million because you're colluding against me. The NFL's not going to do that. But here's the thing. I don't understand why he expects, like, because his comment back was, I can't wait to see all the head coaches and GMs that are coming.
Yeah.
When do head coaches and GMs ever go to see a backup player like work out though? You know what I mean?
I think maybe he just meant like maybe he should have just said like teams. Like that would have been better.
I think it was constructed perfectly because it was actually a smart move by him to do that. But they don't like a head coach and a GM go like if they had like the number one pick in the draft and they try to work out Johnny Manziel. That's what they're not going to go to the actual that. They'll send a representative. They'll probably film it. They'll get it on tape and they'll be able to report back to their GM on, hey, Colin looked really good here. Oh yeah, you know what? Let's bring him in for an individual workout then. That's what this is for.
According to our friend Dave Mason, who shout out to Dave Mason, my guy, the Bengals, Donnie, are the favorite to sign Colin Kaepernick, 7-2.
It's just such a Bengals move too, man. The Bengals are the whole, and you know what I would do, Jeff? If the Bengals actually are on the table, like, you know what, he worked out, he looked good, we want to sign him. If I'm Colin Kaepernick, I go, you know what? I'm just going to stay retired. Thanks, guys. I'm seriously, and that's the one we joked about yesterday. Like, if you're Colin Kaepernick, you just saying, you know what, I want to play football, yes, but I want an honest shot at playing football. You can't go to the Bengals and succeed. I would just decline it and say, I'm going to go do my work. Nike probably pays him a pretty penny. I want a big settlement from the NFL. I don't need this headache here. But if an organization actually reaches out that has like good footing, like let's say right now, Jeff, you know what the perfect spot is? Even though he probably wouldn't play, Kansas City. Go to Kansas City for a year and have Andy Reid put his stamp on you and say, guy's ready to play. He'll start on an NFL team if that's the case. Why would you not do that?
Well, I mean, because I think he probably wants to play.
But what I'm saying is he would be in so much of a better spot for him as a player to go to an organization that knows what they're doing, then branch out. Like going right to the Bengals. What the hell is he going to do with the Bengals? But if you go to an organization that's teaching up-level offense in the next century like Kansas City does, he's in such a good spot the next year, Jeff.
I'll say this now. I'd like to see him in Chicago. I think that could be a match there. Matt Nagy, kind of a forward-thinking guy. Obviously, they need some talent. Get that fucking Trubisky. Get a little. No, here's the thing, Donnie. No, not get him out of there. Give him some fucking competition, maybe like something. Like Chase Daniel's cool, but he's a backup. Like,
yeah, Chase doesn't even want to play. He's like, dude, I get a nice paycheck. I don't want to be out there.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Colin is either, but it's like, give him some like competition, maybe. Like, I would like to see him go to Chicago. I mean, that would be interesting, I think. And how do you think those fans would take that? They're kind of
the Bears?
Yeah.
To be honest, Jeff,
I think they'd be all right.
Even if they don't like him, they'd be like, "Holy shit, thank God, Trubisky's out of
Trubisky.
Yes. Even if you hate it, even if you disliked whatever you dislike about him, you'd be like, "Holy shit, I'm glad we got him."
Yeah. No, it's someone on ESPN said it this morning. It makes sense. Like, why is this happening on a Saturday? Like, you can't make it on like a Wednesday.
It's just, and there's no like teams. Look, they can send jets out there and scouts and do whatever they want at any time. Don't let like, oh, well, it's just logistic problem. My ass. They'll be able to get there. But it's on a Saturday. Like teams are gearing up to play the very next day. It's not like a GM is going to go there and it's like, hey, look, I got to worry about who's going to be on my active roster on Sunday. Let me fly out to watch Cal in Atlanta and then fly back to like San Francisco. It's just the whole thing is odd, man.
What if Colin saves the Bengals?
Nobody
they
saves
have no
the
wins.
Bengals.
Yeah. What do you mean save? I'd understand if they were 3-7, but they're 0-8, I think, or 0-9.
I can't imagine. Like, imagine Jeff, you have a shot to go to the NFL. Like, oh, you know what? The Chiefs drafted me, the Eagles, the Cowboys drafted me. Like, oh, this is exciting. Like when your name gets called and it's the Bengals, aren't you just like, Jesus Christ, man? I worked my whole life for this.
It's like I'm never going to win.
God, I'm never going to win. No fans are going to watch me. My owner's cheap as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
Donnie, I wanted to rant a little bit about this pathetic, and I got to be honest, I didn't have anything on this game. I was just wildly blown away at the ineptness of a football coach and a football quarterback. Last night, did you see this or not?
I didn't. That's why I told you. Like I made a prep. I didn't watch I didn't even want to research it because I knew you would add something on.
I want to see if I can get these highlights, Donnie. Right. Actually, I'm going to get this game up. I'm going to get.
You're worried about Eli Peters?
No, I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I didn't bet on the game, but I was blown away. And I'm glad you didn't see this, Donnie, because I want to find the last couple of minutes here, and I want to play this for you.
Yeah.
You like Northern Illinois here, right?
I did, yes. I thought the plus it was 2.5. Yeah.
And did you see how it went? Like they were up big?
No. Actually, I watched the football game at some periodic times, and from the whole time it looked like NIU was in control of the football game.
Okay, I don't know if the game's up yet. I wish it was, but I don't think it is. Okay, I'll basically just tell you what happened. Okay, so Toledo was down 3 points, Donnie, with about a minute to go. They had a timeout. Okay, so they're dinking and dunking down the field. First or second play, they actually had a really nice run. They got down to like the opponent's 45-yard line. So they really just needed like 15 yards.
How much time left?
30 seconds, maybe.
Okay. Yep, which is nothing in the MAC.
And they had already used their timeout.
Yeah.
So they had no timeouts. It's got to be first downs. So there's about 20 seconds to go. They complete a pass for a first down. Clock stops. Next play. You're going to spike the ball because it's a first down.
Yes.
This stupid fucking moron throws a pass in the middle of the field. Has no chance to get into the first down marker, and they run out of time. Like, it was seriously, Donnie, the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
So what yard line were they at now?
They were around the 40-yard line.
Okay.
So they need about 10 yards.
Yeah.
Like, it was wild. I guess my question is, who's at fault there? The quarterback or the coach?
I mean, it can't be the coach. The quarterback has to know better than that.
But the quarterback's looking over at the coach, and it seems like the coach is not telling him to spike it. Like he had no like.
But then again, when you get the first down, the clock does stop, so it's actually a free down for you when you line up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the clock was starting.
How much time are we talking about?
About 13 seconds.
Then you should have spiked it. Yeah,
but he had to run. Like, he was like.
Yeah, and then you should have spiked. I thought it might have been like 25 seconds where you can get like, wait, we don't want to burn a play here. No, you should have spiked it then.
Like, it was really bad. Like, it was one of the worst, like, game management things I'd ever seen, really.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you definitely were happy you were on Northern Illinois if you had it.
Yeah.
All right, Donnie, I want to show you some highlights last night because I think we have a new star in the NBA.
Oh,
and
yeah, he got load managed last week, didn't he?
because he's a star, he should. All right, let me share my screen here, Donnie. You've got to see this. This is amazing.
I saw the layup that he had. I thought it was
I'm just talking about the entire game.
Right.
They were worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is our friend John Morant. Let's take a look here. Let me know when you see it there, Donnie. Got it?
Yeah.
Just watch these highlights. Woo! Wee! It's all John Morant, by the way.
It's like we were watching last year, right?
Look at this kid. Look. Watch this. Watch this, Donnie. Like he's just going right at people, man. Woo!
They win last night? Yeah, they did. He won his layup, right?
Yep.
So what? And like, so what are we saying? Like in 3 years, when his rookie deal's up, we'll be in New York or LA?
I mean, this dude is wild. Oh. The kid is ugly, man. He's ugly when he plays, man. Wow. Look at that pass.
Dude wasn't even at a major college last year.
Just look at this dude. Look at this play.
Yeah.
What a pass. Get out of my way. All right. So we see, Donnie, this dude is mean.
Mean
player. He is a mean player, man. It's all about him. Give me Jock, give me Hachimura, give me Harrow over that dude in Pelicans.
Jeff, Alshon hasn't shown up again for a second day of practice this week.
Yeah, I've already bet the Eagles, or I've already bet the New England Patriots. I know the New England Patriots that are going to be they will eventually be a big public side because I'm getting a lot of friends of mine that are not big bettors, like South Philly guys. Yeah. Yo, bro, New England's a bomb this week. I said,
yeah,
thanks. I know.
Settle down, pal.
I know it is great. Like everybody's betting them. And in Philly, that's brutal. Like if everyone's betting the other team, because everyone always bets the Eagles.
Yes.
Like,
so then it starts to get troubling. But I'll tell you the interesting thing. How many teams, Jeff, can go for their third win in a row against the New England Patriots? How about that?
Yeah. Well, in 2015, I actually wanted to bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that team?
Yes, the Sam Bradford team. They had that huge throw at the end of the game.
That team was horrible.
They were bad. In New England.
Like Ryan and I were talking about that the other night because he brought that up to me about, and they had like a punt return. They had a fumble
Malcolm
recovery,
Jenkins, like a 100-yard interception return.
Yeah, block punt. It was wild.
Yeah.
But that depth chart, bro, that team, that roster was like really bad.
Yeah.
Like their best receivers are like Josh Huff and like Riley Cooper.
Was Jordan Matthews there back then?
Yeah, he was in there too. Yeah. Their defensive backs are like EJ Biggers and like
better than today.
Yeah, like really bad.
Bradley Fletcher. Yep, those boys were all
Byron
back there.
Maxwell. And they somehow go into New England and beat Tom Brady.
Chip, man, that's the chipper.
That was his last season, I think.
That's the chipper, man.
That was the only thing he did good that year in 2015.
Yep, third straight win in a row the Birds are going for over New England. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's not going to happen. Donnie, you have anything on these college games tonight?
No, I do not.
I'll tell you what, and I want to make this clear. These weekday games for college this week are not good. I've not bet on anything.
Ooh, I've Max it again tonight. Usually Max only the two nights.
And I think a lot of it has to go back just with the discussion we had. That shit only happens in the MAC, it seems like. That's it's just bad football.
There's
Like,
only it's a high school football game. There's like 30 people in the stands. It's made for TV. It's made for gamblers, and that's all it is. Yeah.
And then Pittsburgh, North Carolina. I mean, I'm not really sure what Pittsburgh's a favorite for. Like, I know they're at home, but
did you hear their coach is furious about this game being played at the same time as the Steelers game? How many people were at this game, Jeff?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It's actually a decent point by Narduzzi.
Yeah, he's pissed.
Not that I don't think anybody that's going like Donnie, honestly, if you pulled 10 Pittsburgh people, right?
Yeah.
And let's say the Steelers weren't playing tonight. Out of the 10 people, how many are watching this game? 1 or 2?
No, they had it's pretty big area for football.
Current Pittsburgh team.
Or what current Pittsburgh team ever. Like, when is the last time Pittsburgh factored into anything? What, Larry Fitzgerald?
Yeah, I think like some of the years where they had like Tyler Boyd, they were like kind of interesting. James Conner, like they were kind of interesting.
When are they ever like factored into anything? Like, dude, pitch 9-0. Yeah.
I mean, I think like 2 out of 10 people are going to watch this. Like, in my opinion, like I don't think 7 out of 10 Pittsburghians are watching this.
Yeah, like come on, it's Pittsburgh.
But I do see his point. It's actually not a bad one. But yeah, I'm not laying points with Pittsburgh. If anyone's watched this team, they're pretty hard on offense. Pretty hard.
Yeah, Mac Brown coming to town. I'll give you the 4 points.
Yeah. Again, like I'd understand like 2.5 point favorites or 3 just because of the home view, but 3.5, 4, not really sure I get that. I might be small in North Carolina here. By the way, Donnie, North Carolina kind of needs this game.
Yeah.
I mean, Pittsburgh's already bowl eligible. They're not winning anything else. North Carolina needs this game. If you want to go to a bowl game, you're going to kind of have this one. All right, Donnie, Pittsburgh and Cleveland tonight. I'm really interested in hearing your breakdown here on this game. Cleveland laying 3, total is 41. Donnie, I think one thing I always like about the Steelers and why they always have kind of a soft spot to me is generally against anyone in the league, they're going to have the trench advantage. They have a great defensive line. Mm-hmm. They have an offensive line that really, outside of Marcus Pouncey's fumble last week to his quarterback, this offensive line's pretty unbelievable.
2 good tackles, yeah.
Sure.
Ramon Foster will be back tonight. James Conner's back.
And I guess the question is with Cleveland, like I know they won last week, but was anyone real impressed with the win? Like it wasn't a great – like they didn't like beat up Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo was in the game until the very end. Cleveland's now a favorite here. I mean, I think we're almost getting back to the old thinking of Cleveland. Oh, like we're going to go back to laying points with them. We're going to go back to backing them where like they really didn't show much. My thoughts against Baker Mayfield going up against that defense, I think are concerning if you're Baker Mayfield. I'm not buying this whole like, oh, the Browns are good again. They won a game. Their camaraderie in the locker room's good. I mean, Baker Mayfield, I think, still has personal issues. I still think there's certain things. Well, am I running to bet Mason Rudolph? No, just because I don't love the way the game plan is for him, and I think they got to somehow let the training wheels off the kid. But let's get a Connor up. Is Connor in the?
He's playing tonight. He will play.
Yeah,
tonight.
That's huge. I like the underdog here a lot.
I actually like instead of the side, Jeff. I like the under, and it's the over is it's opens up 40.5. And now at Pinnacle, it's 41.5, pretty much 41.5 across the board. And I actually like the under even more than the side itself. The one thing we like Pittsburgh's defense, right? What's not to like about them? You said it all. In a 3-4 defense, you have 3 elite stalwarts up front clogging everything up, and you have linebackers that are super fast and athletic getting to the quarterback. That's great if you want to pressure Baker Mayfield, and it should work because, as we know, Jeff, Cleveland's offensive line not exactly great. But when we flip it over from the opposite side, I don't really like Cleveland's defense all that much, but Pittsburgh's offense, going up and down the field, I just don't think it's going to take place because when you break it down to some of its smaller numbers, yards per play, 27th in the NFL, passing yards per play, 29th in the NFL, rushing yards per play, even with James Conner, who did miss the past, 2 weeks, 27th in the NFL. I just look for a lower scoring game. You're going to get 10-mile-an-hour winds, 12-mile-an-hour winds, 35 degrees. Almost, I don't want to say a carbon copy because there were 2 elite defenses on the field last week. But
could be a lot of field goals.
I like the under. I like the under, and a lot of missed field goals too. So.
Yeah, you could have some. I think one thing, Donnie, about these two, particularly the one in Cleveland, the coach. I mean, he is an inept play caller. like inept. Like he has no idea. Like the fourth downs, like the red zone stuff is really bad. It's just ugly. Yeah. It's really bad football. And obviously, when you're playing in the NFL and you want an under, red zone stuff is obviously really important. You look at these teams, Donnie, from a red zone scoring percentage, not good. I mean, Pittsburgh 28th in the NFL in red zone touchdowns. Cleveland 26th. And that is hideous work. I like your points here, Donnie, on the under. I still, though, like Pittsburgh. I think Rudolph is getting better. I think he's getting there. He hasn't made a ton of mistakes. I like their defense much more. I just don't trust the Browns. I just don't.
No, and you're right, because would this change your mind, Jeff? If it was Pittsburgh -3, you would say like, oh, Pittsburgh's a favorite. I don't know about that. But they still are getting a field goal in a lower scoring game. And would it surprise you in this, Jeff, right? Pittsburgh comes out and they're just average on offense. First drive of the game for Cleveland, interception, tip ball, fumble out of the run. Would that even surprise you in even the slightest in this spot? I don't think it's going to be a fast moving game, from an offensive perspective. I think teams are going to be hunkered in, division game. And it's a really important game for both of these teams. If you say Cleveland wants to save their season, but more importantly for, Pittsburgh now on the comeback trail, trying to make the playoffs. I just don't see them coming out and throwing it all over the lot. And if Cleveland does, Pittsburgh's got a really good defense. Jeff, Pro Football Focus, number one.
Yeah.
Number one.
I've been really impressed with this group. I have. I mean,
they win at all levels. They win at all levels. That's what you want.
And that's the thing about and that's where I know Mike Tomlin sometimes his X and O's are kind of irritating and some of the things that he does on the field. But I mean, Donnie, it's not easy to replace Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, the fact that this team is even alive and playing well and beating teams is, I think, really impressive.
They're elite
really
on defense. I like it. And these are the type of teams, I'm not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but I enjoy teams that win this way to counterbalance. You'd have to throw it 50 million times a game. You don't play any defense because your offense is so good. I enjoy stuff like this. So I'm actually going to enjoy this football game tonight. I just think the under comes in. One of those games, Jeff, one team might get 20-13, 20-17. I just see it like that tonight.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to make this clear. There's not a lot of coaches in this current league that I want over Mike Tomlin. I mean, he's got the chops. I mean, at the end of the day, he sometimes can be irritating with his challenges and taking shots and stuff. But coaching, we've talked about it. A lot of it is just getting your team to where they need to be, even with injuries and all this different thing.
Yeah, right mindset. Yep,
sure. Toma, I'm not sure I've seen a more off comment in the history of the show, really. As a season ticket holder, they blow. They should have. I always love that argument. They should have lost. Well, they didn't, dude. They didn't lose to the Colts. Okay. They didn't lose to the Rams, okay? I mean, I don't understand what your point here is. Pitt got lucky. No, they won a game in the NFL, which is very tough to do, against two teams that are, fringe playoff teams. Get out of here with that.
Jeff, do you get nervous when Mason Rudolph is taking a snap on his own goal line, Jeff? I mean, get some awareness, kid.
Yeah, he's young. He's a backup, Donnie. I think he's playing pretty well for a backup quarterback.
No, the only thing you're as a backup, the only thing you're graded on is what? Wins and losses. That's it.
I get that, and he's winning.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I don't have any complaint. Somebody was getting an argument with me today saying, or yesterday, that why does he just go to the Steelers? I'm saying Mason Rudolph is better right now for the Steelers than Colin Kaepernick is. No way. I'm like, well, come on, man.
I've seen him, Donnie, become a better quarterback, I think. I mean, he's a kid. He's been in the league 2 years.
He wasn't supposed to be a starter this year either.
Yeah, and he's come in, and I think he's played Donnie. I'm taking him over a lot of guys in the backup role. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, who would you rather have as your quarterback? Him or Brian Hoyer? Or let me ask you, Brissett or with the same team, Brissett or
I probably would go Brissett because he's had more starts.
Okay,
yeah, I would go Brissett.
What about Brissett with the Steelers?
Yeah, I would go Brissett over Mason Rudolph with the Steelers. Yes.
Interesting. I don't know that I would.
it's 27th in total QBR this season. But you can't really grade him on that. But I would go with the guy who had more starts. I would go with Brissett over here.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it's by a lot.
No, he's doing what he's asked to do. It's just that, like, Kyle Allen is doing really well for Carolina, but he's not throwing them the victory. He's basically saying, hey, the guy's open 10 yards downfield. I'm going to make sure I throw it to him. That's it. That's all a backup's supposed to do.
Exactly. I mean, this point, I mean, listen, Toma, you're a good listener, but these points are just bad. They're not right. So let me ask you something. So you're saying that the Rams got lucky because they don't have a good offensive line and the quarterback had no time, but you're going to put your money in the hands of the Cleveland Browns offensive line with Baker Mayfield, who's looked like a fucking deer in the headlights. What is this thinking, dude? It's so bad. We've got to stop agreeing with these kind of opinions. Opinions are fine, but some are not right. This is a bad opinion by you, and I'm hoping you change your tact. I really do. I really do. Mayfield is a mess, dude. And
he's feeling dangerous today, Jeff.
I don't give a shit. This defense is legit.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills had a decent defense last week. Cleveland didn't do all that much, and Pittsburgh, to me, is a better defense than the Buffalo
I don't
Bills.
foresee a viable reason.
I like the under tonight. That's what I'm going with.
Like, do you see that? Like, do you see any viable reason back Cleveland?
If this game was played on Sunday and you were giving me 3 points with the Steelers, you know where I would be, Jeff. All with the Steelers. But the only reason why I'm not is because it's a Thursday night game. It's tough. But also, if you want to counterattack that, these are the games you can. Because remember last year, Jeff, like the Eagles and the Giants played on a Thursday night game. Is that really travel when you get on a train for an hour and a half? How much travels Pittsburgh to Cleveland? You know what I mean? You're not going across country.
I mean, you could be there in 20 minutes.
Yeah, you can get a practice in the morning and fly out for 45 minutes or whatever and be there already.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I don't. Yeah, you could leave right now and be there.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they could have, Jeff. They could have stayed on game day and just flew in. Would have been like a bus ride.
Great point by Kenneth N. Chris Hubbard against T.J. Watt. That's going to be a ugly matchup for Cleveland.
Ain't that kid relentless, man? He I can actually root for him as opposed to J.J. Watt. But before I step back a second, Jeff, you saw the J.J. Watt, what he was angry about yesterday. Like, why does he even matter?
Yeah, no offense, Donnie. I really don't want to get into this J.J. You hate him. I know.
Like he's
I don't know what he said,
he's because not TJ Watt, who's a really good player. Yeah. The Watt who gets like 3 plays as a backup fullback, he was upset that he's not on the ballot to be a Pro Bowler at a special teams position.
Listen, I don't hate Watt like you. I know you. I mean, he's annoying at times, but I mean, some of his antics are lame. But if Baker's going to beat me, then I deserve to lose. Exactly, Sonny. That's exactly.
And
actually,
right. Sonny makes a good point.
If he beats you, he beats you. That's
yes.
a great
How many
point.
times do me and you break a game down and be like, you know what? If this fucking guy hits 6 threes tonight, well then he beat me.
If Freddie Kitchens and Baker Mayfield beat me, then fuck it. You know, I'm good.
That's always my perspective. Like, you'll break a game down and eventually just gets to the point. If this son of a bitch beats me, then he just beats me and I move on. Oh well.
Like, seriously, if you're betting Cleveland tonight, you should get your head examined. Seriously, you're making a bad wager, and it's.
It's hard. It's hard.
No, listen. I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you why it is. Yeah. Because why are you doing that to yourself? You know how this team is. Like, why are you going to do that to yourself? I get they have Odell Beckham and Landry, and they have some, Hyde and some nice pieces, or not Hyde, Chubb, but. You're just going to hurt yourself.
Yep. Jeff, what about this? How about if I told you right now I'm leaning towards the Bears team total this week?
I'd tell you you're a fucking idiot, like usual. It's stupid. Donnie, you can't keep fucking pounding your head. Eventually you're going to get a concussion. There's 2 things tonight that you have to like. That defense is good, and they're going to win the battle in the trenches. They're just way better in the trenches than Cleveland. Like, it's that simple. So I wouldn't do it to yourself. If you want to do it, but
like, how many times do you cap a game, Jeff? And you're like, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I know I shouldn't go this way, but I like an angle. I know I shouldn't go. And by the second quarter, you're pounding your hand, like your fist on the table, like, I knew it. And you know what I mean? It always ends. Doesn't it always end that way? It always ends that way.
Not with Cleveland. I'm trying to remember. Not in this family. We don't. What was the movie where someone, I think the character says, miracles happen, and the character goes, not in this family, they don't.
Huh. Somebody's got to know that out there.
What the fuck? It's a movie I love, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Not in this family, they don't. That's going to bother me, Donnie. Talk to the chat while I figure that out.
No, the chat will come up with this. Say it again to the chat. Somebody's going to look it for you. Somebody will look it up for you.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Not in this family, they don't. I got to look that up. I got to find it. Miracles happen. Not in this family, they don't.
Who is it? Come on. It's got to be up there. Googled.
Fuck, man. That's so bothering
Juan
me.
says Home Alone.
No, it's not Home Alone. It's just like a character that's really negative and like
Invincible?
No. It's really bothered me, man. This sucks. I hate this shit because usually I can find it and I know it right away. Miracles happen. Not in this family, they don't.
Inspiring quotes.
Yeah, that's all I'm getting is stupid inspiring quotes.
Hold on, we gotta find this. We're chasing it down. Angels in the Outfield?
No. I mean, basically,
Juan, do you think Jeff actually watched Angels in the Outfield?
I have seen it. It's a good movie.
Oh my God, really? That's surprising me.
No, it's
Forrest Gump?
No, I remember it was a kid that says it, and the guy's like really negative. He's like, not in this family, they don't. And it's kind of the point of like, people say miracles happen, and it's like, no, not to the Cleveland Browns. No, it's none of that. It could be a TV show. I mean, we're gonna just
Jeff, yeah, shoot.
Yeah, we're gonna just. I'll figure it out sooner or later. It's got to be The Wires or Sopranos. Yeah, it's not. But I know it's on the tip of my tongue, man. Fuck, Donnie, you're bothering me here. This is bothering me.
Yep. Now you're gonna think about it the rest of the day.
No, I'm gonna really like kill myself.
Miracles happen.
Miracles happen. None. All right, go to the college basketball.
CBB, what do we got? Hold on, let me bring up the rounds tonight. Michigan State, Jeff, Seton Hall, Moorhead State. Oh, see, you did that for me. We're going to hit that game first.
No, I did it because I actually liked the game.
I think you did it for me. Let's tee this one up. Moorhead State Presbyterian.
Shows you how much work Donnie does to the show. You would think he'd like write these numbers down.
No. Like I didn't even know the headlines till like we got right on air. And I do, by the way, I do have buy or sells though. So how about that?
I forgot about that. Let's do that.
Come on, yeah.
Let's do that.
All right, here we go. Ready? 5 buy or sells for Jeff. He does not know the answers to any of these.
No, I don't know the questions.
Or the questions, I should say. Or the answers. You probably don't. All right. For buy or sell. This started with the same topic we started off the show with today. Colin Kaepernick has a tryout on Saturday, Jeff. Buy or sell, or does he? Is this going off or not going off?
I definitely think it will happen. Is it the best situation? No. I hate it, actually. But, yeah, I definitely think there will be one. And it's going to be a lot of, like, scouts there and, like, you know, every team will be.
Now, no TV is there. Which I almost think they miss out on this, too. Like, you tell me NFL Network can't, like, get a couple cameras down there and you can have it like they show when they.
Well, there'll be a camera. It'll just be closed circuit and it'll go to the owners.
It's weird. It's just the whole thing is just odd the way they're pulling this thing off like this. So you're going to go, yes, it does happen.
Yeah, of course it does.
All right, so let's get into some statistical.
It's not the greatest situation, but I think
I don't know. I think
all you need is a chance.
I think somebody's pulling out of this stuff. To be honest with you. Second one, Jeff. Now we see coming in. There is a log jam, Jeff, and I mean a log jam in the AFC South between teams in first place down the. Well, it's 4 and 5 is Jacksonville. And they're playing the Colts this weekend, so easily could flip that over. And then you have obviously the top end of it. Huge win by the Titans last week, gets them back to 500. And then you still have the leaders in Houston, but then they're going to play Baltimore this weekend. Buy or sell, the Colts win the AFC South.
I'm going to go sell. I think eventually, like, luck is just feeling like it's run out with them. And it seems like every time they take a little step forward, something happens and they take a step back. Like, T.Y. Hilton, he can't seem to get that injury healthy. Brissett's been in and out. Their defense, there's someone out every week. No, I would go with the Texans. I mean, I want the Colts.
Because you know what's interesting about the reason why I asked it, because let's just say we're projecting, right? The Colts are a favorite to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Whether they beat them, we don't, but they're favorites. So let's just say they win. That moves them to 6 and 4. The Texans go on the road versus Baltimore, 4-point dog. They're supposed to lose this game. If they do, both of those teams will be tied. You know who has the tiebreaker right now is the Colts when they beat the Texans. It's interesting.
Yeah, I would love it. Hey, by the way, I figured out who said it.
Who is it?
Okay, so I don't know how I've remembered this, but I remembered it. Remember when Johnny Sack gets cancer?
Yeah.
And Ginny says to him, "Miracles happen, John." And he goes, "Not in this family, they don't." It was in season. This is how my mind works. It's so odd.
Mm-hmm.
It was in season 6. I want to say late. You know what it was in? It was stage 5, the cancer episode, where he gets cancer and he has that like orderly helping him. He gets really negative and she's like, "Miracles happen, John." And John goes, "Not in this family, they don't."
And then he just starts smoking again.
Yeah, that's when it happened.
Yeah.
That's when it happened. She catches him smoking cigarettes in the commissary or the waiting room. Thank God I remembered that.
Johnny Sack. All right, so the third one coming in, Jeff. So Colts win the AFC. You're going no sell on that. Now check this one out.
But you're going with they do.
I think they do. I think they win it because I think T.Y. Hilton will come back, and I love the coaching staff.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Mm-hmm. Seahawks, Jeff, now sitting one game behind those San Francisco 49ers, which you predicted would win the NFC West. But now you saw a victory over the 49ers. Now they're banged up, and we still know that last game of the season, I believe, is at Seattle. The Seahawks pass the 49ers and win the AFC West.
Yeah, I mean, I think coming back, down to earth after kind of the annoyance of having, that bet the other night. I think we have to remember. I mean, Robbie Gould will be healthy. If Robbie Gould was kicking the game, they probably lose.
Or
Seahawks they win. Yeah, the Seahawks lose. Mm-hmm. I love Russell Wilson, but I think I just like the playmakers that I feel like I can get on Seattle a little bit more, to be honest. I think DK Metcalf has turned into a decent player in the NFL. I don't love him. He's decent. I think Josh Gordon will help. Donnie, one of the issues we always have had in Seattle is they never really have had that big play, really good receiver. Maybe Josh can become that. They're generally a team that can run the ball well. Wilson, I'm not looking to bet against, and it seems like that defense is starting to figure it out a little bit. Quandre Diggs made a play the other night. Mm-hmm. What I love about Seattle is, and why I sometimes wish I rooted for someone else, is I envy teams. Like I envy everything Seattle is. I love their coach. Their ownership goes out and just gets the right players. They go out and make moves, like the Clowney move and the Diggs move, like all those moves. I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see my team make. I love their linebackers. The defensive line's really starting to be strong. I like the Niners. I thought before the season I was just kind of taking a shot, and I'm getting good value on it, so I get a good price. But at this point, if I had to bank on it, I think Seattle will overtake them.
All right, how about this one? Number 4, Jeff, on this list of 5. We saw last week how impressive those Baltimore Ravens were, beating the New England Patriots, and now have that notch in their back pocket. If it ever comes to a tie in the AFC, the question, does Baltimore get the number 1 overall seed in the AFC? Only one game back.
Yeah, I want to obviously stay, kind of, I do like Baltimore a lot, and I'm not a huge New England guy, but I've said for some time, New England doesn't strike me as the team of the last couple of years. There's something missing with them to me. I think their defense is obviously overachieved because of the competition they played, and I think that was pretty evident against the Ravens. The Ravens are kind of the Seahawks in the NFC to me. They're an organization I just love. They always seem to make the right moves. The Marcus Peters infusion has been huge. You look at Donnie, they're getting guys healthy back on that defensive backfield. They have a great run game. What do you want late in the winter months, Donnie, when you're playing football? You want a team that can run the football. Brown's back healthy. I like their tight ends. Lamar's playing like a not a Hall of Famer, a Pro Bowl MVP. Yeah.
Now, they're one game back, and you want to take – because I know the schedule is always, we don't really know who's going to be there at the end of the year, injuries or not, but you want to take a look at the next 4 games for New England where they can make some hay, at the Eagles, New England. Then they're going to play the Dallas Cowboys. Then they're going to go on the road to play Houston, and then they got Kansas City. That's an awesome 4-game stretch, man.
I think, Donnie, if Gronk came back, I would like the Patriots.
Almighty.
No, I'm serious.
At like 140 pounds?
No, I'm thinking – I feel like he's what – like they miss him, I feel like. Like I think Tom misses him. And I think in years past they've had Rob Gronkowski. They don't anymore, and he's a guy that I think they could benefit a lot from. But yeah, I mean, there's really outside. I mean, Donnie, seriously, ask yourself with the Ravens and Patriots, is maybe outside of the quarterback because it's Tom Brady.
Yeah,
but I still love Lamar. Is there anything that you'd rather have the Patriots have that the Ravens don't have? Like, is there anything you'd pick the Ravens over? Like, because everything that the Ravens do
outside of quarterback,
nothing. Yeah, there's nothing.
You're right. No, you're the Lamar Jackson.
They're better at every position.
Exactly. The Patriots are better at every. Yes.
I mean, maybe a receiver. Edelman's better than I think anyone they have.
No, so you're saying you would take Baltimore's defense over New England's defense?
Oh, sure. No, I'm just saying it.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I'm saying at every position, is there anything that New England's better than Baltimore at?
Everything but quarterback. I would take New England's wideouts. I would take New England's defense. I would take New England's coaches.
Would you really?
Yeah, but I would take Lamar Jackson. I don't think Tom Brady's having that great of a year.
I got to tell you, I like Mark Ingram. I like what I don't think the Ravens are real far off. And there's certain things that I would take over New England. I think they're neck and neck.
Yeah.
They, as you said, have the
fun. I loved it. I'm rooting for that. That'd be a great final. I just hope it's not in New England.
I think the Super Bowl is going to be Baltimore and the Saints. That's my Super Bowl. What do you got? Any other one?
Yeah, one more here. Now. This is the one you would have laughed me out of the building, and I would have laughed anybody who tried to tell me this. The Raiders are 5-4 with the Cincinnati Bengals on deck, which they're going to be 6-4. Raiders in the playoffs. Buy or sell? They got a shot.
I will buy it, and I will buy it unwillingly. This is one of the bad decisions I made before the season. I have a pretty big ticket on Raiders under 6. I mean, I just didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Without Antonio Brown and just what they have there. I think the defense thought it was really bad. The schedule's really tough, and they've been able to figure it out. I guess I could hope for a push where they only win one more game.
And not only, Jeff, they also have the Jets on deck the following week.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to lose that over the next 2 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, I think I'd bank on that because I look at the other teams. I think for Raiders it's going to be tough because you look at the other teams. Like the Steelers, who would you rather have, Steelers or Raiders?
I think the Steelers probably have a tougher schedule, though.
But I think the Steelers are better. I think the Colts are better.
I think if you're asking me if they lined up on a neutral field, yeah, I'm probably going to take
that's how we're going to have to knock with the Raiders make the playoffs. So it's like, are they better than the Colts, Steelers, or even the Titans? I think they're kind of on a similar level.
They have the I'll tell you, here's the schedule for Oakland, Jeff. Cincinnati's coming to town. Then they go on the road to play the Jets. Then they go back on the road and play Kansas City, which is going to be a tough one. But then they get Tennessee at home, which could be one of those tiebreaker games. They get the Jaguars at home. That's winnable. They go play the Chargers on the road, which is going to be a home game for them. And then Denver, the last game of the year.
I'm going to say 9-10 wins.
Wow, man, Raiders! I can't even believe they're doing this. That's amazing.
They're going to be in the talk. Listen, Donnie, you know who the 2 coaches of the year could be right now?
Who? Gruden.
Gruden and Tomlin.
No.
I mean, who's done more with
I'm going Harbaugh. If they,
I'm just saying, like,
gotta win it if they get a top seed.
Those 3 guys are in the running. Those 3 guys have done more with less than a lot of teams.
Freddie Kitchens when he turns around them Browns this week, Jeff.
More like worst coach. All right, Donnie, let's go to the college hoops and then we'll wrap up the show.
Morehead State Presbyterian, Jeff, 43% lined up on Morehead State. This line opened up the Blue Hose, -1.5 and -2s at some of the sharper books. But now we sit at -1s primarily across the board with DraftKings and Sugar House showing a -0.5, which is hilarious. But that's what they're showing at this point.
Are they really?
Yes, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's got to be an error.
Yeah, that's odd. Yeah, I like Morehead in this game. I feel like I've seen them play. I like Jordan Walker. He's been really good for Morehead. I just don't really think Presbyterian's a very good basketball team. They're a hideous defensive team usually. I like the way Morehead's been able to kind of get into the lane and create. Donnie, Morehead's through 2 games, 15th in the country and 2-point percentage. He's been terrific.
Yeah.
This is a defense for Presbyterian, as I said, that's not any good. I don't really think anything Presbyterian does is going to bother Morehead. Morehead's been a good 3-point defense, which is what kind of Presbyterian wants to do. I just don't really think they're better at anything than Presbyterian or than Moorhead. The only thing they have here is they're at home, but that gym is so small it ain't gonna matter. I think Moorhead goes on and gets a win here. I would look towards Backham. I just think they're a better team.
Michigan State, Seton Hall, rotation number 667, 668, 73% of the tickets coming in on Tom Izzo's boys and the Michigan State Spartans. However, Jeff, opened up at 6 and 5.5. I'm showing 5s across the board now as a favorite of Michigan State heading to play Seton Hall.
Which is crazy that the number's going down because Miles Powell is out. Yeah. Miles Powell's not playing tonight. That's really interesting. So I guess you're basically banking on, Miles Kale and Quincy McKnight and Mamushkavili and those guys. That's a tough blow losing Powell. I mean, he's the best scorer in the country, arguably. What Michigan State team's going to show up here? I mean, now that, Cassius Winston, you're kind of past the whole, you're not past it, but you've had a couple days to kind of deal with what's happened. Sadly, you're still without Josh Langford. I wasn't real impressed with Michigan State game one. I don't think they looked real together. The cohesiveness wasn't seemingly there. They kind of just look wonky. They come back and beat Binghamton. Who cares? This is a tough game, even without Powell. Willard's going to be ready to play here. I don't know. Under's kind of interesting. I could see this game being played in the high 60s. I think possessions are going to be important. Good defenses for both teams. How does Willard and company kind of create offense without Powell, who's so important to what they do? I kind of like the under here. I don't think this gets to 70.
Last one, Jeff. Penn State, Georgetown, 655, 656 on the rotation, 62% backing Patrick Ewing's Hoyas here. Opened up at a pick'em at -1. Now we're on the move now, Jeff. Chris showing -2. DraftKings out of New Jersey, -2.5. FanDuel, 2.5. Bet Online, -2.5. Going towards the Georgetown Hoyas here, Jeff, versus the Nittany Lions.
What do you got on total in this game?
I got 149.5.
Let me tell you something. The fact that this total's in the 140s is laughable. Laughable. I have no idea why we have a total in the 140s here. Daddy, these teams have been blistering pace-wise. Mm-hmm. You look at both teams, 33rd and 28th. I mean, I'm going to come out and say it. You know why Georgetown won't win fuck all this year? Because as usual, they can't fucking defend. Akinjo and McClung are laughable defenders. This team stinks defensively. And Penn State has been really good on offense so far. I mean, they're putting up a lot of points. Lamar Stevens is terrific. You have two really deep teams here. They're going to be able to throw a lot of bodies out there. I think the pace is terrific in this game. I really like it over here. I think both these teams go a mile a minute. I mean, Donnie, Georgetown has been awful on defense. I mean, as I said, you gave up 78 to Central Arkansas. You're giving up almost 70 points to Mount St. Mary's. These are just ugly games. And now you're going to face a team that's much better offensively. I liked what Georgetown could do offensively. This should be a track meet. I'll see a game maybe 80, 77, something like that. I'll go that this game goes into the 150.
Jeff, on KenPom so far, since they've been tracking tempo, this looks to be the fastest pace currently, if it holds true for the rest of the season.
As far as these two
all
teams?
time. No, all time.
In general.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're betting unders, you really should start to think about something else. I mean, teams are starting to figure out this 3-point stuff.
3-point line has gone up full percentage over the last week. So, yes,
which is it was really just kind of figuring it out, which generally that's going to happen. I mean, I think there's certain games like the one we talked about with Seton Hall and Michigan State where it's going to be a grinded out, game where you just, it's possessions matter. Yep. Seton Hall plays with a fast pace, but that was with Powell. You'd have to figure they might slow it down a little bit. And Donnie, one thing about Seton Hall and Michigan State is on defense, they really slow you down. They make you play in a half-court effect. And that's why Seton Hall, I think, is going to struggle in this game. Who creates offense for them tonight? And Donnie, you're not playing, Stony Brook or Wagner or Georgia State. You're playing the arguably best team in the country.
Yeah.
And Tom's had some time. Team total under might be the best play against Seton Hall. I don't know who scores on this team tonight. I don't know how you bounce back quickly off that kind of thing.
No, I think you're think you're on to something there. By the way, Jeff, here's an interesting stat from New Jersey. New sports betting record handle for a month, $487 million. How about this? Online, 416 million of the 487. It's amazing that, like, you look at like New York where, hey, you can gamble, but only in the upstate casinos. Oh my God, there's like New Jersey's got to be laughing at that.
Yeah, I mean, people always ask me like, what sports book's the best? It's like, well, I don't go
in
to
your
them.
house.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I don't really need to. It's like Donnie. I'll be honest. Like, if I lived on 10th and Bigler, I'd probably go to this. I'd probably go to the turf club every day. Like, it's nice to like go out for a little,
check out, see what people are doing, say hi, get something to eat. Yep.
Yeah. But it's like, if it's snowing, it's like, well, I'll just bet, with my app, which is great.
Home relaxing, because it's the one thing I never was able to catch on to. Like, people say, why don't we go out and watch the game? I'd rather pull my fingernails out than go out to a bar and watch the game that I want to watch.
And that's what made it so interesting, Donnie, that these casinos, and that just shows to show you how much money they have, that like Borgata is willing to invest so much money into a sports book when it's like maybe like a month, like around the Super Bowl, March Madness. That's the only time people go there.
Yeah. I mean, there's but like, it's, hey, let's drive, I don't know, I'm an hour away, but let's just say if you're closer, 25 minutes away, let's go to the sports book and watch the game. Dude, you got a better TV in front of your face at home that you sit right in front of.
Like, I will say, like, it was fun, like, being there for the games. Like, it's fun. Like, but the problem that you have with sports books, Donnie, and where I think if you're a bettor, it's Keystone Cop shit. Like, during the tournament, for instance, and these are the worst people on earth, okay, in our business. I'm going to tell you who they are. Is these shitheads that think they're like Billy Walters, that like know someone in the casino and they got front row seats. And like, I remember getting there and it was like, you have some of these guys, they're like, they all have the front row seats. They're all reserved. And it's like, oh, I know the
pit boss, or I know the guy who runs this. Yeah.
And it's like, I'm standing there. It's like, what am I doing? Like, I can, like, I remember it was Friday. It was the day of the second day of the tournament. Yeah. And it was that slow period, Donnie, from like 3 to 6.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I can be home by 6. I can see all the 7 o'clock. I can be ready for it. Like, and I went home. Like, I was just like, I'd been there Thursday. I was there Wednesday night. And you know what was funny, Donnie? You know what was the funnest time to be there?
What?
Wednesday night. Yeah. The playing games.
Yep.
Because there wasn't a lot of people there, and you could move around. You could watch the games. I've been to so many sports books. Like, I don't even care anymore. I think, I've said before, my next move is probably going to be Atlantic City. There's a condo I've been looking at that I really like, and it'd be cool to be closer to you. And I want to see the ocean every day. So it'll be interesting once you live there, kind of how it is. Because when you're not doing anything, I think the whole thought would always be, well, let's just go up to the casino and see.
Yeah, because you would know people. You'd see people every day. Hey, man, I'll be down there on Wednesday afternoon. Meet me down there.
Yeah. Or, hey, I'm just there every day. Yep. I see.
Making my rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going around town getting the best numbers. I can't wait to
but Jeff, will you have a backpack on the boardwalk going up and down?
Yeah. Listen, if I ever see 2 of those dudes, I'm going to call them out on camera. Bill Krackenberger, why will you not give me an interview? Why will you not talk to me? Why will you not let me control the interview and let me ask you the questions?
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here. You all have a great night. Thank you for joining us. A fun show today. By the way, like I said, we will not be on tomorrow.
Because we're eating. Leave us alone.
Well, no, I have things to do in Philly. I've got to go down there and meet some people, and I got to go see Donnie, and we're going to have a nice lunch. So what are we going to celebrate? Is where we're going to go?
So why not? Yeah, my wife's actually saying, why aren't we just going to Chicky and Pete's?
Come on, Elle.
That's what she's saying.
Come on, man.
And by the way, Tanky's that you were saying, it is supposed to have really good food.
Tanky's really
good. Is Tanky's where the Jack's Club is? Like that close?
It's right down the street. It's actually where there used to be a bar called the Big A there.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know that. I know exactly the area, but I know where like the Jack's is and all that stuff.
Tanky's, Donnie, is
I know. I know.
It's Cookies, the owner of Cookies.
Yes. Yep.
Their son was murdered 2 years ago in Philadelphia. He was a teenager. Danubli, you know Danubli.
I know everything about that. Yeah,
Sal Danubli, and they created a restaurant in his.
That's his nickname. That's why.
Tanky, That's I'll tell you, man, that is a really good place. Good food.
That's what people say. Yeah.
Good food. But you really can't go wrong in South Philly, Donnie.
No, you can't.
You know,
That's
South Philly
a
really
nice
is the
pie.
greatest place on earth, Donnie. It really is.
You
Like,
can go. You get snowed in. You can go to your neighborhood
it's
bar
so
right
great.
down the street. You get
I'll
something
tell
good to
you,
eat.
it's what, Donnie, I see my life that way, honestly.
Yeah.
I see myself living on Moyamensing Avenue,
Yeah. Yep.
tree lines. You may be like on Cleveland Street right there.
Yep.
You know, hey, what are you up
Linda
to?
was down on. She was down on Colorado. I know that area
It's
well.
so great. Everything below Snyder Avenue to the stadiums,
Yep.
from A Street to
Yep.
the shopping centers, it's really the greatest place on earth.
Food, culture,
It's
whatever,
so great.
man. Yeah.
But you've got to make sure you live. Like, if you live on a small street, it's got to be almost a bigger small street. Like Colorado Street, it's kind of an extended.
Yeah.
I lived on Watt Street that was like, it was so narrow.
Yeah.
And it was near the subway, so it kind of sucked. You get all those like hangers on that are like going to like wherever.
Yeah.
What a great place.
Yeah.
What a fucking great place.
Block parties, sure.
I want to move to Atlantic City, but it's like, it's South Philly's so great.
AC would be awesome though. Stop.
But like right now, would it be?
No,
And
it
I
would
have
be
a short
terrible
house.
right
We
now.
have a
It'd be
short
really
house.
cold, but I'm talking like that night. You get that March to like October.
I feel like deep down though, Donnie, the only way I think I'd move to Atlantic City is if my parents ever sold their house. Like where they
moved
moved
down there full time.
Yeah, so like I could always be there.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, well, they have a house there, so it's like, well, I'm there like half the year anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, do I really need to move there?
Yeah. Oh, it's a good point.
And I kind of want to be in like the Jacks Brigade and like, go like Donnie, I want to go play bocce at night. Like I have friends that have a bocce court.
Take your dog down to
Marconi.
Marconi. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
go down to
Marconi,
FDR. Walk,
Marconi,
hold hands with your girl down in FDR around the lakes.
Sure. The best. Marconi has like the bocce court. And I remember, Donnie, a lot of mob guys go in there, play bocce.
Sure.
And one of the mob guys get jammed up in there. And in the indictment, it said he was associating with known felons in the bocce court.
Yep.
Now, the guy that owns the bocce court, he lived up the street from me on Watt Street. He's an older guy. Bro, they love their bocce in there, man, playing all night. Fucking screaming. Yeah.
Tournaments, Memorial Day, massive tournaments down there. Sure. Yeah.
You remember that's Johnny Marzano?
I do, yes. Yeah.
The baseball player?
Yeah.
They used to have a half ball tournament.
Yep. Marzano.
Johnny Mars. Some of the great nights of my life, Donnie, you know where they were spent? Playing stickball.
Yep.
In one of the school parking lots, around 9th and Oregon.
Yep.
And I remember we would signify a home run, Donnie, as if you could hit the ball from 9th Street to Percy Street, which is a city block.
Yeah.
And Donnie, I led the league in home runs.
How about that? See that?
And stickball was so fun, Donnie, because you could throw the ball to the guy at the base.
Yeah.
But let's say you hit it.
Yeah.
And I grabbed the ball.
Yep.
I could throw it at you.
Yeah.
And if it hit you, you were out.
You're out. Yeah. City
but they
rules,
don't do
man.
shit like that anymore.
Nope.
Like
they don't even do it anymore. I'd never see anybody playing no stickball down there when I drive down.
Stickball was a great game, man. We would play, Donnie, we would play till it was dark.
Yep.
And we would be like, oh, maybe it's time to go home. It's dark. We can't see the ball and it's hitting us in the face.
Yep.
What a great life that was.
All right, time for lunch. 2
or 3 years. All right. Yep. Yeah, I got to have some lunch myself. You guys have a great night. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week. Monday, we'll be back. You all have a great night. Thanks for watching.